Kick-off, there's James Tedesco, their full-back, underneath the sticks, waiting for what is to come at him. It's Wigan against the Roosters for the World Club Challenge, the 25th World Club Challenge.
Stay on side, time you run.
And Robert Hicks just waiting for everything to be cleared from the pitch, and away we go for this World Club Challenge between Wigan, the masters of the Super League, and the Roosters, the masters of the NRL. And that's Matt Ikabaloo, first of all, who takes the opening tackle of this match. Two clubs here with great traditions, of course, great connections between them. Joe Lydon, Martin Afire, Dean Bell, and a fellow called Phil Clark has graced both of these clubs. And you're tipping the Roosters tonight, Phil. You've come off the fence.
Well, I think maybe just narrowly. They are a great club. They've made 7 of the last 20 grand finals down under. They're a very well-organised club on and off the field, but I'm hoping that Wigan can certainly push them all the way. You also missed another name as well, John Chicka Ferguson. Wigan fans from the 1980s, right? Remember, he came over as a Rooster and actually did really well. Scored 2 tries in the Wembley Cup final.
This is Jared Waria-Hargreaves. He plays the ball to the hooker, Jake Friend. And the kick in the air, and an early tester for Liam Marshall on the left-hand side. And the Roosters very quickly in on the defensive duties here. Wigan now will try and work this ball away from their own line if they can, but look at that from this pack of forwards. Boyd Cordner leading the way. And also in there very quickly, of course, Luke Keary as well. Tony Clubb puffing the cheeks out, but met by 4 defenders. Down he goes. That's the 3rd tackle. They've not made too much progress forward, have the Wigan Warriors. This now is Sean O'Loughlin again. There are 3 men hunting him down.
Struggling to make ground. Need to play behind a decent kicking game, and they get into this field position, the Roosters, because they made valuable meters going forward, then got a decent kick away.
Well, O'Loughlin shaped to kick the ball, but then gave it to the kicker-in-chief, and that's George Williams. It goes over the head of Ikabaloo and almost finds touch. The ball is still in play. That was brilliant by him. He somehow tiptoed this side of the line and kept this ball alive. Look at that.
Well, he did remarkably well down in that backfield, and the first set of 6 from the Roosters ended up, as it will, 90% of the time with Cooper Cronk putting a kick into the corner. And a particular feature of the defence of the Roosters, as we see them almost make a break, is they hold defenders up, drag them back and take those meters away from their opposition.
This now is Victor Radley. He missed only 2 games of 2018 for the Roosters. Jake Friend is the dummy half. He gets the ball away to Tauki Haro.
Like, they'd be disappointed with that. Well, that's the first try for the game, and Adrian Lam will be disappointed that they couldn't control the go forward, the platform that was laid from the forwards of the Roosters.
Well, Brett Morris knows where the try line is. Prior to that try, he has scored 146 in the NRL during his career since 2006. So Takiaro will take this conversion attempt for the Roosters. Difficult, just a metre or so in from touch on this left-hand side, but as you can see, that's the angle he has. Formerly with the New Zealand Warriors, he came to England with the 2015 Kiwi touring party. So Sio Takiaro to try and extend the lead. Now then, this is taking a bit of time. Where's the shot clock? They don't need the shot clock for conversion.
No, not for conversion.
It's going to be 1 minute and 20 seconds.
1 minute 20, and the time was called off after 1 minute 20. He probably took another minute after that.
So he can expect an investigation by the Super League next week, will he?
Possibly.
You know, maybe Wigan are a little bit lucky that the #1 goal kicker, Latrell Mitchell, won't play. He scored over half the team's points in the grand final. They're going to have to restrict points harder than that. A worrying sign that the fact that 2 players came up with 3 missed tackles on Brett Morris inside the first 4 minutes.
So 4-0, Roosters lead, and they are in possession once again. Shouldn't underestimate the size of the challenge that faces Wigan tonight.
2, move, Sean! Hold with me.
The crowd has just gone a little bit silent in the opening 5 minutes. That's taken the wind out of their sails. Let's hope that the early try hasn't taken the wind out of the players.
Absolutely. Mentally, Wigan have got to put that to one side now, learn very, very quickly but they've got to make those tackles. They didn't spend enough time in it during the week. The Roosters are already over the halfway line. It's that go forward set from Wyatt Hargreaves. Hits up number one that's really doing the damage.
Here is the magician, Cooper Cronk. Another high kick. Claims it well again, Marshall, but look at the way the chasers have arrived in double quick time, led there by Mitch Orbison.
Well, whenever you play against a good defensive team, which this Sydney Roosters side are, you need your teammate beside you, pushing up, taking the heat off you when you're carrying the ball. You don't want to be a lone ranger going across the field, trying to get through the defensive line. Look, hitting in numbers, pushing back, won't let Zach Hardacre get to ground.
Referee shouts held. He plays the ball still inside his own 20-metre zone to Zach Hardacre. This is Liam Farrell. 4 tackles gone. The crowd on the back of the referee claiming the Sydney Roosters are offside at these play the balls, but they are so quick and so sure in defence. Just about Joe Greenwood stays in the field of play, but they're going to have to kick again here from inside their own territory. Hardacre was hit a bit late then. The ball has bounced back though, and the referee will give the penalty for offside against the Wigan chasers.
I think the Wigan fans thought they were going to get a penalty when Zach Hardacre was taken off the ball when he's kicked it. You see the inside pressure.
He's right though, the referee. The players are offside. The pass goes back. I think George Williams it is who tries to find the fullback. Here's Joe Greenwood doing his best to stay on the field of play.
Back here. Liam, Tom. Hold now, hold. Go.
So Roosters will come again. Friend restarts. Here is Boyd Cordner. Wigan now having to muscle up in defence. 4 defenders getting to him.
Hold, go.
Friend is the dummy half once again. And Maria Hargreaves, that was a big hit on him, but he manages to get the ball away just the same to Friend. Friend with a flat pass. And it's red lights for danger for Wigan again here, because they're inside the 20, only 2 tackles gone. There is Cronk. He gets the ball away to Tedesco. It's a good tackle by George Williams, helped out by Dan Sargentson.
His speed panics defenders.
Here comes that man once again, Takiharo. And he is grounded around about 7-8.
Just won't please the coach here, you know, you're going back to the halfway now, and you line the ball up on the kicking tee. You say, right, we're going to kick it to our left-hand side. The next man who carries this ball, let's knock him back. Let's knock him into next week. We've got to start again. They can't look at that scoreboard, but they need to improve. 10 minutes on the clock and they've conceded 10 points.
And there is a slight difference in the tackle technique from both sides. Wigan trying to get up quick, they're trying to hit hard, and there's 3 men committed to the tackle. Pointed it out after 2 or 3 minutes. Watch when the Roosters are defending. They hold the defender up and drive him back, even though he's fought hard to gain those metres when he's been ball carrying. He's driven back and the metres are taken away.
Well, it's been one-way traffic so far. As you rightly say, fellas, 10 points, 10 minutes, point a minute. Wigan need to steady the ship somehow. And they get very quickly into the face of Luke Keary. He's seeking a second World Club Challenge win. Tried for Souths in the 39-0 victory over St Helens in 2015. Football skills on show from Liam Marshall.
Surrender!
I think he was looking to link up with Dan Sargent, and then when he saw that wall coming across to greet him, again, dominant defence, isn't it? Dan Sargentson going down the short side then, there was not much room to move, there was that many Roosters players. Then they're working up hard, they're getting off the line, they're trying to bully and intimidate anyone who's got a Warriors jersey on.
They're very quick off the line. Straight into the face of the ball carrier. Good work though by Tony Clubb. He gets it away to Sam Powell. Can Wigan build something here with Ben Flower? He spins out of one challenge, but the hooker Jake Friend was there. Make sure he wasn't going to make any further progress downfield. Now here's O'Loughlin, who has been pinpointed as a major threat to the Roosters. He finds Luai. Last tackle coming up here then for Wigan. They need to end this set well. High kick from Williams. Tester, Tedesco, up to the test.
And that's what they need to get to. They need to get to the kick. If they get into the kick, they're not making mistakes early on in the play. Play the game down here. One of the dominant challenges, making the play the ball slow for them so they can get the defensive line set.
Rangy winger Daniel Tupou played on the wing in the World Cup Challenge against Wigan in Sydney as well in 2014. This is the try scorer, scoring of 2 tries tonight already, Brett Morris. And it's Cordner carting the battle upfield for Wigan. But that's a better defensive set from Wigan because they've restricted the Roosters to 15 metres inside their own half before they get the kick away. And here comes Zach Hardaker now.
Good stuff from Wigan. Good. Last time they had the ball, Sean O'Loughlin, the variety he has in his game. Players and defenders don't know whether he's going to pass, go into contact, offload, or just run over the top of defenders. And the variety and the mixing up of that attacking shape will do well for Wigan Warriors tonight.
It's Liam Farrell now for the Super League champions. 5 metres inside Sydney territory. He plays the ball here to Powell. He then find Lulawai. Now it's O'Loughlin. He gets it away. Solid defence again. I don't think they've missed a tackle yet. Sydney Roosters.
Hargreaves has been all over this
that's
field.
A mess. Knock on by Ben Flower.
Yeah, you're right, Eddie. They haven't missed the tackle yet.
And a big night for Ben Flower and Tony Clubb. They're up against 2 of the best front rows in the NRL competition. Where Hargreaves has been all over the field, attacking defence, got a couple of offloads away. Ben Flower with a huge responsibility. As coach, he's expecting better. He's expecting better from himself. The completion rates, applying and building pressure must be the order of the day for the Warriors.
Well, the look on the face of Adrian Lamb, he didn't expect this start.
No, and I suppose, Eddie, you know, dealing with shock, whatever situation you're in, takes some experience, it takes a voice. People need to talk, don't they, for Wigan here now. They've had a shocking start to the match. They can recover. 30 years ago, the Canberra Raiders were blew Widnes away at the start of the match. The Vikings eventually came back and won that match. So Wigan can stay in there. So they've got a couple of games under the belt. They need to build and try and match Sydney with the pace and intensity with which they're playing. Takiaho now takes him within 35 metres of the line.
There's Friend at dummy half, and he gets the ball away to Cronk. Lovely ball back on the inside. It's Radley. Only missed a couple of games last year, Victor Radley. Here is Cronk again. That's the pass away. And the referee has seen something in that tackle that he didn't like.
On the 4th tackle as well. Wigan penalised, trying to slow the player down. 3rd tackle. George Williams, Greenwood, and then it's the flop from Sam Powell. Look at him, he's got the bumpers up there.
And they've got the ball away again. Here is the hooker Friend. He's just held up short of the line on the 1st tackle. And he'll play the ball, and the Roosters will come again. Quick hands by Keary, finds Tedesco. Tedesco just went to go left, then came back right, taking them on down the middle. The Wigan defence stands firm in the shape of 3 players. Friend once again. 5 metres out into centre field. That's the first loose pass they put in. And Wigan have got the ball back. Oh, but then they've given it away. But the referee will bring them back to the first knock-on.
All comes around because of pressure in defence, working hard from the inside, getting off the line, nominating who you're going to get at. And that's what Wigan need to do. Play with that sort of enthusiasm. When they're defending, don't just sit back and wait for Roosters to play. Get off your line, get in his eye line. Make him feel uncomfortable when he's trying to catch that ball. Puts pressure on the man who's about to catch it and pressure on the man who's passing the ball.
Head and feed at the scrum to Wigan here.
Shot clock off. Ball back in, time on.
Now they've got to get the ball up the other end of the field. That's an obvious thing to say, but it's something they've really struggled to do so far tonight, Wigan.
I need an early kick, tackle 3, tackle 4, buy some land, get some territory.
Penalty goes Wigan's way, and you can hear what the crowd think about that. They've been on the referee's back for 16 minutes.
Well, that'll do.
It's not the referee's fault the 10-0 down, by the way.
Ben Flower, he won't give up. He's not had a perfect start to his evening, but 16 minutes on the clock. He gets some field position. And do they challenge? Do they try some offloads? Because when we've seen it so far this evening, it's sparked everybody up.
The Tony Clubb again for Wigan. They're in Roosters territory. It's with Williams. He got the ball away quickly to Flower. And the defence moved in. That's got them on their feet. Tom Davis, a try in the grand final against Warrington. victory that got Wigan into this match. On his 25th consecutive appearance, Tom Davies has breathed life into Wigan's World Club Challenge.
Well, with the crowd behind him, that can act like an extra man. And there's the penalty. All comes about because of that late hit on Sam Powell. Warrior Hargreaves involved in everything. Go forward, the penalties. What you like to see is a team that like to play down here, that like to throw the ball around. When the ball's shifted out wide, and Wigan go to where Tom Davies is, he's got some speed, but it was a good pass from Oliver Gildart that creates that gap.
There is no doubt that this side, the Sydney Roosters, are a phenomenal rugby league side, but they are human. They are like any other team. If they have to do repeat efforts in defence, if they give penalties away, miss tackles, they're vulnerable. And the Wigan Warriors have just capitalised on that.
Well, it took the Melbourne Storm over 60 minutes to score against the Roosters in the Australian Grand Final. Wigan have managed to do it in less than 20, and they need to convince themselves here that there is a greater belief in them when they walked out the dressing room. I think most of the Wigan players knew that their opponents were favourites, but now they maybe give them too much respect in the first 10 minutes. After 10 more, they're back in it.
So Zach Hardaker with the chance. He's won one and lost one of the World Club Challenges he's played in previously, and he has missed with his first kick. There's a difficult chance, though, out on this right-hand side. But Wigan on the board.
And if you watch the Roosters defend, the outside backs are getting up really quick, and then when they get up, they back off. They're trying to force you back on the inside. Maybe it's the offloading game. When they've got up, when they're trying to set the line, Adrian Lamb really pleased. That second phase rugby from the Warriors could cause the Roosters some problems.
Little subplot, of course, tonight. Adrian Lamb, the Wigan coach, he worked alongside Trent Robinson at the Roosters, bidding to follow Graham Lowe, John Money, Graham West, Sean Wayne to become the 5th Wigan coach to lift the World Club Challenge.
Important set here now, important that they get to the back end, get a good kick in, start to build some defensive efforts and make the Roosters come away from their own end.
Stand now.
There might be a case also for saying that the Roosters have started so quickly, and as we've got into the second quarter of the match, you know, the lungs will be bursting. It's their first real important hit out of the year, so maybe Wigan can take advantage of that. Here they come trying to do exactly that now.
They do start games quick. Like I said before, the opening 40 minutes of last year's Grand Final, scored 2 tries against a very good defensive side. That's the offload that they need to come up with.
And here's Liam Farrell.
Well, that set of 6 there, you go back to the first 5 minutes, they weren't making meters like that.
No, they've settled down, but Zach Hardaker has knocked the ball on. Knocked it on twice.
So they knocked the ball on, but at least they made 60 metres carrying the ball forward from this mistake.
In front of Sam Powell.
That's unforgivable, though, if you want to win this game. They've made a terrible kick earlier where they got trapped on the sideline and kicked it half in the air. They've got to improve that now, the rest of the game, to give themselves a chance.
One, move now. Hold, go. Straight out, Tony, no second.
Great tackle. That's what'll lift you.
Joe Greenwood on Maria Hargreaves.
Right in the face, he's had such a big impact in these opening stages. Hargreaves
got the bumpers at the end, did Joe Greenwood.
He felt it though, and he'll have a little look as well.
You spot that, he sees this coming off a slow play, the ball gets right into him, the man who spent some time at the Gold Coast.
Hell! Release!
We're going to have to release Takiaho, which they do, and this is Cooper Cronk. Great hit by Luluai. The ball went backwards though from the tackle. This is Tedesco. Last tackle coming up now for the Roosters. Flying challenge from Thomas Luluai. Here's Cronk, dabs the ball up and over to the far side. The ball hits the deck. They still have it though, do Sydney. Good work, still good work. They're pressurising all the time, Wigan, but this is Keary, and he gets the ball wide, and a chance here for Manu. The ball has hit the ground, and away goes Williams. Great run from Williams. Great from both sides there, keeping it alive, the Roosters, at every opportunity, and Wigan must link up in defence, and now the reply.
They're well and truly into the pace of this game now. Defensively, there was a couple of big shots in that probably unsettled a couple of the Roosters players. And there and again, what about that from Keary?
And Dan Sargentson felt that.
You know, you need a couple of things to open up a game, and this game's open now.
Gildart struggling to get away from them. Goes down on tackle 4. Farrell into centre field. It finds its way to Powell. Now to O'Loughlin.
Last Jake, move.
Mano was into him very quickly. Play the ball. Williams, well, just drills the ball into touch.
That's a big set of 6, that carrying the ball forward, needing to gain ground. George Williams, the man who kicked the ball off the field, wasn't waiting around, wasn't looking around for anybody, just pins his ears back. And what about that for a shot on Dan Sargentson?
Well, they're not in a better position to put an attacking kick in here. What are they? 20 metres from the opponent's line? Basically, you're handing over the ball 10 metres out.
Maybe they were blowing for tugs.
Yes, I think George has took it upon himself to slow the game down. Before he picked that ball up, before the mistake was made by the Sydney Roosters, they'd been awarded 6 more tackles, so it looked like the Warriors were going to have to defend the Roosters again. And you asked the question, Eddie, about tiredness and fatigue and whether the Roosters might be feeling it. Well, there's enough of us on this panel here and on this commentary position to tell you that it's not the first, it's not 5 minutes before half-time, it's those last 5 and 10 minutes where Australian teams really grow. They find that next level and they find that extra level of fitness.
Hold, go.
Roosters in possession inside their own half of the field. I think Isaac Liu is on the field now for the Roosters. They made a couple of changes.
Hold now. Go.
Zane Tetivano is on, and so too is Isaac Liu. High kick again. Oh, this is a tester. Very well claimed and under enormous pressure from Morris. Really did well then, Davis.
He had to be brave then, didn't he? And you can see the Roosters now trying to come up with some aggressive line speed, knowing that they're in a game now. That try has certainly lifted this Wigan side.
And Flower takes a breather as well. Being played at a frenetic pace.
3, move, get square. Hold.
Gildart to his feet. Play the ball. Powell comes down the right-hand side.
4, move, Zane, back
There
up.
is Trent Robinson, the Roosters coach. Now then, this is the new kid on the block, Joe Bullock. I say he's new kid, he's 26, but he's really started his Wigan career impressively from the Championship. That's a poor kick.
Put under pressure again. Thomas Luluai got that kick away, was put on the floor. Half-backs, if they have to continuously get up off the floor, that's going to drain them, maybe alter the way that they think and their mindset as they're going to kick that ball.
Fresh legs on the field in the shape of the Cook Islander, Zane Tetivano.
Go. Liam, I need a response.
Friend gets the ball away. Here's the other fresh legs, Isaac Liu.
4, move. Hold, Joe. Hold. Go.
They'll come down this right-hand side this time with Cronk again. He gives it then to Keary. Keary flicked the ball. The crowd thought it was forward. The officials think otherwise. And Ikovalu has it.
Keep coming, Joe. Go, you're good, mate. You're good.
That's Mano at dummy half. He gives it to Cooper Cronk. Crossfield kick coming in from Cronk. Great jump.
Second good take, wasn't it, from Tom Davis?
It's an outstanding
He's
take
pinched
as he
the
had the
ball.
ball stolen.
He's pinched the ball here, the Roosters man.
Ref says a penalty though, Eddie. He said the tackle had been completed. To the relief of the Wigan supporters at that end.
Well, Brett Morris thought he got a hat-trick then.
Tackle's complete.
No, it's an outstanding take. I can't help thinking that Cooper Cronk has had far too much time to get his kick away. As I said right at the beginning of the game, you know he's going to look after 9 out of 10 kicks. Here's the offload. Is it forward? Well,
it looks
it
from
looked
that
forward
angle,
from up here.
but that's not why the referee has blown the penalty. What was the penalty for, Stuart?
The referee ruled that the tackle had been complete. He said that the ball carrying arm had hit the ground and therefore the tackle was complete and the ball couldn't be stolen.
Well, that's a sigh of relief that Wigan will be breathing. Here is Dan Sargentson meanwhile.
Almost through Sargentson then, running at Cronk.
Now Gabe Hamlin.
3, Jake, move.
He arrived at Wigan on the recommendation of Michael Maguire and Pat Richards. Down in the NRL. Ex-coach, ex-player. Good hands by Williams. That looked a bit high from Keary. The referee says nothing doing.
He went back for a second goal.
4.
He's a tough note, Luke Keary. An exceptional game in that grand final. did the job of two half-backs when Cooper Cronk had that huge shoulder injury.
This is Luluai with a high kick. It's a decent enough kick, but it's just drifted a little bit too long. And of course tonight we've had half an hour of this match. We have viewers all over the world tonight on Sky Sports, on the Channel 9 network in Australia, and Fox Sports as well, taking our pictures live, our commentary live, and we say good day to some old friends who I'm sure are watching down there.
One, move, Gabe. Hold.
I know at least one of them who won't be too impressed with the scoreline.
Well, first of all, they get a kick away that they don't need. Then they give a penalty away, relieves that pressure. This kick now will take Wigan deep into their own half. Playing the percentages, going set for set with the Roosters has certainly been helping them. They've gained valuable territory. The lungs have filled back up again. They're not under pressure, and they're not making rash decisions as well when they're defending.
Don't have to jump off.
Well, Wigan have had a good 10 minutes, but I think you're right. I think the Roosters have got the wind back in the sails a bit here, and they're certainly starting this set of 6 in very good field position. Here is Cronk, and he gets that ball away again to Tetivano. He's wrestled to the floor, struggling to get to his feet. Powell gets off him. Friend, dummy half, gives it to Cronk. Cronk will find Keary. That's good work. On Tedesco, down Sargentson. Friend again, and the runner is Liu. Danger for Wigan here as Friend
Scored 3 tries in the first half of his performance. Many clubs may have thought at this point in his career he'd had his best days, but he's determined to show the Roosters he's a valuable member, should be in the 17 every week, and help them in their aim to win back-to-back grand finals in Australia, something that's not been done since the early 1990s. In fact, nowadays, a lot of people in Australia think it's impossible to do. But the Roosters are determined that in 2019 they will do it.
Well, that was the Brett Morris hat-trick we saw, a glorious start to his career, and Wigan have been pinged here for pinching the ball while it was on the floor, and the tackle had been completed, so more easy meters for the Roosters. And Leo trying to make hay with that. He's 9 metres inside the Wigan half.
Well, Wigan's defence said here it's essential they hold them out to half-time. 2 of the last 3 years. The English sides have conceded tries late on in this first half, and it's really killed the contest.
Cooper Cronk was a borderline pass as well.
Look forward, good pressure from Joe Bullock on Cronk.
Go 3.
And he plays the ball. Here comes Butcher now. Nat Butcher, local juniors, forced his way into this squad.
Go off those leaders, Liam.
Keary and Cordner.
Last.
Great year last year for him, New South Wales captain in the Origin success. Led its team to grand final glory as well. This is Keary. That's a delightful kick. The ball is free. And a good job, a very good job that Liam Marshall was there. It's a goal line dropout.
Barry referenced it before. You can't give the likes of Keary and Cronk that time. You've got to, the back end of the set, you've got to win tackles 4 and 5, knowing that the ball's going to go to them. They're the ones who are going to dictate the play, dictate where that kick's going to go. That pressure from the inside, from Marker, working hard, will make it harder for them to land the ball where they want to.
Good work by Liam Marshall. Mitch Orbison was hunting the try. The goal line dropout arrives on the halfway line. Tedesco then gives it to Liu, and he is halted. That's a dominant tackle called by referee Robert Hicks.
Hold, Sam. Go.
Lachlan was the first man in. Here they come again now with Tetivano.
Move! Hold me here, hold! Hold, go!
Gobbling up the meters though, every tackle they have. Here they come once more. And this is Boyd Cordner.
In trouble again, Liam Farrell. Needs better communication.
Hold, go 3.
Friend goes into the centre of the field, finds Keary. He just drops the pass off to Liu again.
4.
Right underneath those Wigan posts.
Line, Joe.
Less than 5 minutes to half-time. The last thing Wigan need to do is concede a try here. Quick hands by Cooper Cronk. He got the ball away neatly to Orbison.
Release them.
Last tackle coming up. Wigan have to defend this. It's with Orbison again. Great pass round the corner and a chance.
Turn over there.
Well, Friend thought he was going to get in. Sean O'Loughlin had other ideas, but look where they turned the ball over. Half a metre away.
Sean O'Loughlin, good job that he was aware of the danger man, Jake Friend. Very talented number 9, isn't he? Born in Queensland. The only problem for him is that the likes of Cameron Smith's been playing for that team, and he is a fabulous player.
Trying to exert the pressure again here, the Roosters in defence, as Wigan try and get this ball away from their own line with 3.5 minutes to the half-time siren.
Move! Hold! Go!
14-4. I suppose if it stays like this at half-time, it could have been worse, couldn't it?
Not a million miles away. Some of those key facets of the game they'll need to tidy up. Hopefully Adrian Lamb gets him in the changing rooms, gives them some tips. The big man, when he comes onto the field, he's really lifted them, but it's maybe not enough.
What a fairy tale for him. This time last year he was playing against Lee Centurions for Barrow Raiders. That's incredible.
It's an amazing story, the Joe Bullock story of 2019. Back they'll come with Ikuvalu.
Move, Joe! Hold me.
3 minutes to half-time. Roosters in possession again. The crowd almost holding its breath every time Daniel Tupou and company get the ball in their hands. That's good, though.
Because there's a collective feeling, do not let another try in before half-time. As long as the players are thinking the same, and they're on the money, and the Warriors can go in, I think, and I agree with you, Eddie, relatively pleased.
Hold me now, Joe. Hold, go.
I don't think they'll be pleased with their overall performance, but the scoreboard will give them hope.
Yes. Straight out.
Well, the way the opening 10 minutes started, they were 10 points down, weren't they?
It could have been a disaster.
Yeah.
Hang on. Here is Keary.
Left. Move now.
Last tackle coming up
Get
here
square, Tom.
for the Roosters. Friend will come down the left-hand side with Cooper Cronk. Further wide they come.
Turnover.
And that was judged to be a forward pass, and that's the turnover.
Turnover.
They're not afraid to throw that
Rich.
cut-out ball, whether it be Keary or Cronk. If they spot space and they spot a defender that they think have made the wrong decision,
Tom.
Why not give it to him?
He's looking for his fourth try.
Why not give it to him?
Go.
So 2 minutes remaining.
One.
First half of the
Move now.
Betfred
Hold.
2019
Go on.
World Club Challenge. Men from down under are ahead by 14 points to 4. Greenwood taking the
10.
battle forward again.
Move. Keep coming
Adrian
back.
Lamb has got a very
me.
important speech to make
Go.
at half-time. They go down the short side again with Sargentson.
3.
certainly a
Cooper,
coach
move.
that'll encourage them to play in the second half. They've got nothing to lose, Eddie.
Nothing to lose. Here's Williams showing up well. Great ball!
Move now. Oh, no.
Well, if he'd have got through then, he would have been... He was quick. He really is quick. Didn't play that ball on the mark, it has to be said. Here is Liam Farrell again. Last tackle coming up.
Go.
Quick play the ball there to Gildart. He missed out. Luluai found O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin spins the ball wide to Williams. In the last minute of the match, Williams looking to kick wide and does so. It's a bit deep. It's a bit deep. Oh, Tupou is tackled in the air there by Gildart. This will be a penalty.
They give the penalty away, Eddie, but do you know what's nice in that set from Wigan? They didn't just think, right, OK, we'll get through this set and then we'll come up with a defensive set. We still want to attack, we still want to break them down, trap near their own try line. They still manage to throw the ball to the left-hand side, get a half break. As soon as they get one quick play of the ball, they look to keep going and going.
I agree, Tez. But if Oliver Gildart is composed, lets the player touch the floor, his 2 feet are on the floor, he tackles him behind the try line, and there's a drop out and another chance. Those are the margins. Those are the small micro decisions that you make that either make your game or they cost you the game.
One. Move now.
Approaching half-time.
Hold. Hold.
Only
Go.
15 seconds remaining. Is it in the DNA of the Roosters just to run the clock down, or will they look for more? Last play coming up. If they get to their feet quickly enough, and they will do. Here is Cronk. So it'll be hey lads hey here maybe. Tedesco dumps the ball down. Picked up once again by Louis. And there is the half-time whistle. Well, a collective sigh of relief, I think, around this stadium that Wigan aren't further behind. A hat-trick from Brett Morris in the first half. The Roosters could have been out of sight, but Wigan dug deep. They got themselves back into the match with the Davis try on the 19th minute. That made it 10 points to 4 after Morris's electric start. And then Morris's hat-trick 8 minutes from half-time gives us the half-time score of the Wigan Warriors 4, Sydney Roosters 14.
For you who demand more. The new Subway Savers menu with 3 Saver subs from £2.59. Crunchy nachos and hash browns. Get more out of your money. Get more out of your food. Subway, make it what you want.
Better. It's out there. But you've got to chase it down. Time to cut the rope. Get stuck in. Turn him into him. Learning things my teachers couldn't teach. Reaching heights I never thought I'd reach. I'm part of a crew now. Never alone. From nowhere to everywhere. I left a small town and turned it around. I was born in Blythe, but I was made in the Royal Navy.
Phones are bad. Phones are
They'll end.
Life was better without phones? Really?
No. 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 Friends only.
You see, phones are good. And they're even better on the best network for data. 3. Okay.
They didn't think they'd get this far. Or meet them. Or him. Or realize just how fun a road trip could be. They discovered a new favorite food, a new favorite view, and made some new favorite memories. Book your flights, hotels, and car hire on Expedia, and travel like a champion.
Battleship Bismarck. Build one of the most powerful battleships of all time with lights, sound, and motion. Battleship Bismarck. Issue 1, just $1.99.
Coming soon on demand.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win. Or you die.
There is only one war that matters. And it is here.
Game of Thrones. Every episode available from the 1st of March with the ultimate on-demand pack.
Sky Store. Stay in for a legendary night. Watch it straight from the cinema.
Ready, Freddie? Let's do it. We're legends, Fred. We're all legends.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Available now in Sky Store.
The first of the one-day internationals coming up for you on Sky Sports Cricket on Wednesday from the Kensington Oval in Barbados. Windies, England, 2:30 p.m. Sky Sports Cricket, first of 5. And then on Sky Sports Football, February 24th, make a date in your diary next Sunday, the Carabao Cup Final, Chelsea-Man City. 3:30 start for that one, Sky Sports Football. Right, welcome back to the 2019 Betfred World Club Challenge. At half-time, it is 14-4 in favour of the Sydney Roosters. Brett Morris with a hat-trick, just the third player to score a World Club Challenge hat-trick, emulating the feats of Michael Jennings and Joe Burgess of the Wigan Warriors. Right, let's have a quick look at the half-time stats. Meters made heavily in favour of the away side, 711 to 499. Tackles missed, 9 for the Wigan Warriors, just the 3 for the Sydney Roosters. Have Wigan thrown enough at the Roosters? And can Wigan fix up what was some pretty awful defence on Brett Morris? No doubt Adrian Lamb will be emphasising to his players the importance of fixing up their time without the ball. They have been a bit more adventurous with the ball, there's no doubt about that. and I'm sure they will be delighted that there is just that 10-point difference between the two sides at half-time. It was looking bad for the Wigan Warriors as Trent Robinson's Sydney Roosters roared into a 10-0 lead within the 10-minute mark. Brett Morris with the first two of his 3 tries. Robinson, of course, familiar with the DW Stadium, familiar to fans of Super League, has had done remarkable things since going to the NRL. Okay, welcome back to the DW Stadium. Welcome to the studio at halftime to John Wells and Adrian Morley. Adrian, we had you and Phil before the game here in the studio. You both thought it'd be a Sydney Roosters win. You were hoping for a tight game. It looked like it was going to be a disaster for Super League and for the Wigan Warriors earlier in that match.
Yeah, we spoke about Wigan needing a good start, and it was quite the opposite. You know, after 10 minutes for the Roosters to be winning by 2 scores up.
Soft tries, man.
Yeah, because they didn't do anything out of the ordinary. They didn't have to, you know, they didn't stretch Wigan. It was just really, really poor. Jerseys are in the frame. He never should have got that ball down. But after 10 minutes, they did steady the ship, Wigan, and you know, to go in just 10 points down, you know, I think they'll be quite pleased with that, really. So they need to go out the second half. If they score first, then we've got game on them.
Nice bit of movement for that one. John, I've got to point out Oliver Gildart here again, only because he's a test centre now at this stage.
He is a test centre, and I will certainly put the first 2 crossings from Morris on his shoulders, not entirely, but he's culpable in part. I think the last one, we may have a closer look at that, and there's a piece of footage I've got to show you in a minute, that there's a little more in play than just a one-on-one miss, and probably unfair to stick it on the shoulders of one man.
Okay, back in 2015 at St Helens, you had Trent Robinson at the touchscreen with you after they had the Roosters had played St Helens. He gave a masterclass, really. The following year, his Sydney Roosters side finished second from bottom in the NRL. He's rebuilt them into a side that has claimed the 2nd title under his stewardship. What, though, in that time have you seen as a consistent in his coaching mantra?
Trent Robinson's teams with the Sydney Roosters, including that rebuilding phase, have centred around, I think, one central tenet. What you get from Trent Robinson is a miraculous attention to detail. I've got some clips now that I'm going to show you that hope to highlight what the Roosters are doing here to try and neutralise a threat. Sean O'Loughlin, ball in hand. The ball wants to go out the back to George Williams, where George Williams has been a threat on the edge. If we move this on, have a look at what Joseph Manu does. He forces Sean O'Loughlin to abort the play. That's something that has been, they've poured over video. They've looked at it in intense detail. Here again, this is what they're doing off the ball, in defence. There's the tackle made. Now look at what they take from Wigan as we roll this on. They take another 6 or 7 metres. So there's graft. There's honest graft like that. There's also smart work and well-researched work. Again, another example of that. Sean O'Loughlin wants to hit George Williams, far left of your screen. He can already see Joseph Manu's 2nd Rooster in, already on that hunt for him, and he forces him once again, as we see, to abort that line. You know, that is not something that's happening by accident. That's not a gamble that Manu's taking. He's been educated, and he realises that if he listens to Trent Robinson, he's going to come in with the goods. This is the try I was talking about, Morris's hat-trick. Bottom of your screen, Tetevano, number 15 on his back. That late movement there, pre-play, sets himself up outside Farrell. Now look at the line. Back at Farrell on his inside shoulder. At that point, Liam Farrell has to account for the line of Tetevano. Has to account for it. That puts then Luke Keary in space with options and as retreating defenders, one of whom is Oliver Gildart. He's also got Luluai inside him and Davis outside of him. So you're seeing what I mean about that attention to detail, those small things that have big consequences for the Wigan defence, and that, I think, is Trent Robinson in a nutshell. Fantastic attention to detail.
Physically, that takes a fair bit out of you. Keep rushing up in defence. There's also the option to kick behind. We spoke before the game about keeping your head in a match like this. There was a little bit of a coming together, instigated by Jared Warria-Hargreaves. In studio here, you smirked and you said it's not really surprising.
No, well, he's known as the intimidator and, you know, the enforcer, and it was a bit of a cheap shot, a bit of a late challenge, but then he doubled up his efforts and gave Farrell
physically, has there been a parity? Have Wigan forwards impressed you enough? Have they done enough?
I think after 10 minutes they did steady the ship, and I thought they were good for 15-20 minutes or so. But I just think the way the Roosters started, they almost blew Wigan away, but Wigan did great to steady the ship. But I just think the Roosters just look a bit stronger at the moment.
They haven't got blown away, and that's the important thing. John, your second half prediction, how does this one unfold?
We're talking about the physical side of it. I think Adrian Lamb can afford to tell his pack of forwards to take the shackles off, because they're getting it. They're wearing an awful lot of shots, and I think they've been a little too conservative. Home ground, full crowd, rules are a little bit different for these.
I don't expect you to go against the Roosters now. You tipped them before the game. Will we see a tighter second half?
Yeah, I think so. I think you know, Wigan, even though they're getting beat, it's funny to say, but I think they'll be pleased that they're not further behind on the scoreboard. So Wigan will be reasonably happy. If Wigan come out and get the first score, then we've got a game on. But I still think the Roosters are favourites, but it could be a cracking second half.
Okay, can Adrian Lamb inspire his side? They trail by 10 points at half-time in the 2019 Betfred World Club Challenge. Sydney Roosters in the ascendancy early on. The home side, though, have done remarkably well to have themselves still a chance in this game. Second half with Eddie and the boys on the way.
Naturally brewed for over 300 years.
True strength comes from the inside. New Citroën C5 Aircross SUV. Travel première classe.
Citroën.
Thousands of new properties every month, 24 hours or more before Rightmove or Zoopla. If you're in the market, search onthemarket.com.
Now with every pair of glasses you buy at Vision Express, you'll get varifocal lenses, half price. Vision Express. Vision taken seriously.
I'm Roger Giggs, and I want to talk to you about loyalty. I've always lived a loyal life, always drinking the same pub.
Hey, mate, what does he do, mate?
Bitter?
Not anymore, Pam. Champagne, please. Always go to the same gym.
Come on, Rod, think of someone that makes you angry.
No one comes to mind. Problem is, loyalty gets you nowhere. Live for rewards instead. That's why I'm Paddy's Rewards Club ambassador. Thanks, Paddy.
Paddy Power's Rewards Club. Loyalty is dead. Live for rewards.
Close your eyes. Now forget what you feel. What do you see?
Jeez, it's a lion!
It's not our kind.
It's that devil woman. Rapunzel. Kitty. Go-go. Flick. Badger.
Smile, everyone.
Great characters stay with you forever. And with over 100 Disney movies, they're never too far away.
That's right. Right. We will always be friends forever. Yeah, forever.
Enjoy some movie magic with the ones you love the most with Sky Cinema Disney.
Are you sure that's gonna help there, buddy?
Trust me, I drive better this way.
Brace yourselves free. Are you ready, my son?
Hit me with it.
What? Everything is awesome.
The greatest collection of Lego movies ever assembled, all on the Sky Cinema Lego Collection.
The straight run. Judge Bridget!
Goodness gracious me! That's extraordinary attacking footy! What a play!
Here they come. Well, how pretty is that?
That is unbelievable!
Yes, the NRL is back on your screens this summer. We start on the 14th of March from Melbourne. Storm against the Broncos at 8:50 in the morning. On Friday the 15th, we'll see the Roosters and the Rabbitohs. What a clash that will be, 8:55 on the Friday. And then on Sunday the 17th of March at 7:10 in the morning, the Titans will take on the Raiders. The NRL back again this year, live on Sky Sports. Here we are now for the Betfred World Club Challenge, second half. Wigan still in it, only trailing by 10. Hoping to claw their way back further into the match in the second half. Roosters tries all coming from new boy Brett Morris. Well, of course, they won 10 in a row to lift the Super League crown last year, Wigan. They've lost only once in the last 12 games. That was at St Helens in round 1 a fortnight ago, and their last home defeat was also against St Helens here on the 19th of July last year. They're keeping the Roosters waiting. There's the hat-trick hero from the first half. They led 18-0 at half-time 5 years ago. John Bateman was making his Wigan debut that day, by the way. Bateman is in the NRL this year with the Canberra Raiders. We'll be able to see him, of course, during the course of our coverage of the competition from Australia this year as well. We're going to emerge. I think Adrian Morley said in the studio half-time, they've got to score first.
Yeah, they've got to just start off really strong. Don't let this Roosters side come out and just blitz them in the opening 10 minutes and just stay with them. Don't panic. Go out there, play. They're not Supermen. Wigan have got enough strong players, enough strong leaders in that side to cause them some problems.
Equally as important to scoring first, then they have to keep the Roosters scoreless for the second 40 to give themselves a chance. So likely Wigan are going to score 20 points plus. Defence equally as important as their attack in the next 40.
OK, here we go then, 40 minutes. Will it be Wigan ruling the world, or will the Betfred World Club Challenge Trophy be on the jumbo jet tomorrow, heading back down under to Australia?
Hold me, hold, go.
Be fascinating to find out, and I'm sure Angela Powers is on the case, exactly what Adrian Lamb said to his charges at half-time. We'll hear from her shortly, I am sure. This, meanwhile, is Joe Bullock. Third game in Wigan's colours, third game in the big league, and here he is facing one of the best club sides in the world, the Sydney Roosters. Sean O'Loughlin, right down the middle of the field, halted by Tetivano and Friend. Ball comes back to Williams. We're on the last. He's running it for the time being, and then he gets the kick away. It was a little bit hurried though, and Tupou has it. Tupou trying to step out of the challenges. They get to him though, Wigan.
Well, doesn't find space. First objective is trying to find a piece of grass and just land it where you want. But do you know what? Carrying the ball then, the first 5 times, first 5 sets, that they had the ball in the opening 10 minutes, they couldn't get out of their own 20. At least when they were carrying the ball that time, they ended up getting over the halfway line. So more intent from the runs from the Warriors.
Isaac Liu is halted and eventually grounded by 3 Wigan defenders. Friend, dummy half, gets it away to Cooper Cronk. Might be his last game, he says, on English soil, but he hasn't given it up yet. This is Sargentson. This is a chance for Wigan. He's trying to turn them inside out. It's Sargentson against the Roosters. Where's the support? Sargentson with a good run. He didn't panic. He held on to the ball, took the tackle. Great counter-attack. It's now Gildart. They've come out of the blocks quickly. Started his second 40. Marshall into centre field, a looping pass to Luluai. Now it's that man Bullock again. 6 metres short of the line. Powell, Luluai, crowd behind them now. Here's Hamlin. Hamlin finds Hardacre. He gives it to Gildart. Gildart to Liam Farrell again. No progress made though by the second rower. Gildart fires the pass. It's with Powell. Luluai. This is Hamlin.
Last. Move now, goal line.
Goes down on tackle number 5. 6-7 metres away from the line. Williams trying to open them up. Greenwood couldn't get the ball away. Good defence again from Sydney.
Good break, wasn't it, from Dan Sargentson? Gets himself in between 2 Roosters players. And the good thing is for the Warriors is he doesn't panic. He knows that there's nobody around him, so he just takes the tackle, goes to ground, and then they get that valuable field position. Maybe if George Williams looks at that again, instead of trying to run the play on the last, he'd try and just dink the ball through behind the defensive line and gain another set of 6.
Let's get the answer to that question. What was said in the dressing room's half-time? Angela Powers.
Well, Adrian Lamb will be really happy to see his team in that side of the field, because field position is one of the things they talked a lot about at half-time. They've got to start more sets in the Roosters end of the field and keep their defensive mentality strong and tight as well. 2 scores game really at this point, and he says if we score another one early on, it's game on. Trent Robinson and the Roosters, so far so good, he says. More of the same.
Wigan got the ball, Eddie. Got the ball away, and Wigan have pinched it. Wigan have pinched it in the shape of Sean O'Loughlin. Friend is not happy with that. Here's a penalty.
Well, they're not hungry to the breakdown, don't they? First of all, it was Dan Sargentson. Then second, it's this man, Sean O'Loughlin. He knows that there's going to be an offload. Standing up in the tackle, you can't take the Roosters players to ground. Then all of a sudden he gets himself, he gets the ball back, and this is it. This is the field position that the coach Adrian Lamb would have talked about.
What can they do with it, Wigan, then? Here they come. And it's that man, Joe Bullock, again, taking it in first up. Powell gets it away to Hamlin. He is hauled down. The crowd thought that was illegally. Referee thought otherwise by Butcher. Luai slips the pass to Williams. Gets through the first tackle, but there is another 2 defenders waiting. 3.5 metres, 4 metres maybe away from the line. O'Loughlin going himself. Sean O'Loughlin trying to just pinch one from dummy half. Liam Farrell now.
Go for.
Back he comes to Luluai. He then fires the pass to Williams. Williams short ball. Greenwood. Oh.
That pass was on, wasn't it, Joe Greenwood? We've seen that link. We've seen it develop throughout 2019's George Williams. Joe Greenwood, a one-on-one tackle. He's looking for the offload. Dan Sargentson unable to get to that ball, but what a good start. Opening 5 minutes. I'd give them 5 minutes to the Warriors. The challenge is maintaining that now, staying in that grind, and frustrating the life out of their opposition.
Morris will play the ball. Friend gets it away to Tedesco.
2, move Sam. Hold now. Go.
On the charge now comes Lindsay Collins.
Go, Sean, together. Go.
Only made 8 appearances last year. Ex-Queensland under 19. Oh, this is a chance. The ball is played across with a foot and then is knocked on. Is knocked on by Collins, that man.
Well, Wigan have got the ball. They're looking to attack from deep. Oliver Gildart looking to get heavily involved in this second half. It was a lovely short side play. You saw the hooker do a little run around, came from behind the players. They dabbed the ball infield, hopefully trying to find a Roosters player. But Wigan, they get the ball back.
It's a much better start to the second half than the start to the match by the Super League champions. Sargentson gets them to the halfway mark on the second tackle here. And away they come with Hardaker, but he is met by a challenge from Tetivano. Captain is taking a bit of a break, Sean O'Loughlin, so it's with Luluai.
For Luke.
Gildart waits. Gildart at dummy half, fires the pass to Williams, who then finds Powell. Here's Zach Hardaker again, showed it to one, took his responsibility on himself, away from a couple, away from 3, 4. Almost gave themselves up then, Wigan, with a dummy run. But Hardaker checked and came back the other way. No chance of obstruction. This is Williams, last one, so the kick comes in. It's a tantalising kick as well. Tackled in the air, though. Tackled in the air again. Pressure relieved.
It's a difficult call, isn't it? Because Farrell is arguably going for the ball by that time. When you know your opponent's got the possession, it's a natural instinct then, isn't it? His arms are in a catching position initially.
They are initially, but his problem is he's put his arms round the player after he's caught the ball. He really needs to keep his arms down away from him.
For me, the big difference from that first half, I think the lads mentioned it in the studio, the kick pressure that's being applied from the Roosters. You saw when that kick went in, even after the ball had gone, there was a presence from the Roosters, and here's the tackle, no doubt. Difficult decision for Liam Farrell to make, but he makes the wrong one. And those small decisions, we saw one just before half-time from Oliver Gildart. relieving pressure for the Warriors.
Cronk dumps the ball into touch, far side.
After he's caught it. Go.
Referee is just explaining his reasoning behind the decision to Liam Farrell, who's involved in the tackle.
Hold, go.
Isn't it a bad attitude from the Warriors?
Yeah, they started so slowly. They were caught cold, weren't they?
Yeah, they just. I think they showed them too much respect. Eddie, I think they sat back, and especially over when they were defending against Brett Morris, for him to score a hat-trick in the first half, it wasn't what they were going to be expecting. Maybe they thought that the Roosters were going to come for them up the middle of the field.
Move, Willie. Hold me again. Go.
Friend is scheming, looking left, right. Decides to go the left-hand side with Keary. He gets it away to Morris.
Left. Move, William.
Last tackle coming up here then for the Sydney Roosters. High off the boot of Cronk it goes. This is hanging. Hardacre has to claim it and does.
That was better pressure on Cooper Cronk. You saw him. Oh, what's happened here?
To knock on. That's what's happened.
Oh, disaster for Wigan and Zach Hardacre. Pressure on Cooper Cronk. Zach Hardacre catches the ball, looks for the floor. And under pressure, I think it's the hooker Jake Friend. Maybe gets some part of his body to the ball. They're defending their own line again, the Warriors. Liam Farrell is putting pressure.
Well, does everything right, doesn't he, Zach Hardacre? Poaches the ball. When he's going to ground, then just loses it.
Come on, guys, you got.
Well, they're going to defend this set.
Say this is a big set, isn't it?
Every set on their own line. They cannot allow their opposition to score.
Well, let's see. This is Cooper Cronk. Back it comes to Keary, and Keary's taking them on himself. Williams and Greenwood dealing with the threat.
Hold, go.
And a drive for the line here. It's Lindsay Collins again. He will play the ball. Friend. Oh, almost an unopposed run to the line. They got to him eventually.
Good effort from Gabe Hamlin. He spotted that danger then. He come in, clamp the ball.
It was Matt Butcher who got so close.
On the 10, 3. Goal line, Joe!
Cronk and Tedesco just changed sides in that 5 seconds, Eddie.
Cronk gives it to Tedesco.
4.
They get him down on tackle number 4. Urgency from the Roosters. Took a chance there. Williams might have been penalised. Here's Cronk, fires the pass to Keary. Liam Farrell got to him just about legally. Last tackle coming up here. Cronk again, crossfield kick. Looking for the big man. Finding only the Wigan man though. That's a great take in the air by Liam Marshall.
Well, under pressure, wasn't he, from Cavallo? Look at him when he goes up, gets this ball. Tremendous effort to stay in the field of play, get down to the ground.
Icer got that ball away somewhat dangerously to Greenwood, and Greenwood's being pushed all the way over the line. That's fantastic Roosters defence again.
Well, big defence. Anytime you're near the sideline, you need to try and get down to the ground as quick as you can.
Look what it means to them.
Yeah, well, big defence, Eddie, from the Warriors, and then all of a sudden they get the ball back, and then they pushed out of the field of play. They're just 20 metres from the, or just under 20 metres from the line, and difficult when that man's in control. Cooper Cronk, there was pressure put on him from the likes of Liam Farrell and Willie Icer in the last play between Cronk and Keary. When they ran the ball at the line, they got a bit of a touching from the defenders.
And there is battles within battles. Joe Greenwood, I think, has had a pretty good first half. He's a big man to handle. We saw him almost get that offload away from Dan Sargent. Well, the Roosters have just picked him up and put him in touch.
Here's James Tedesco, their fullback. Wigan harrying and getting him to the ground.
Hold, go.
Morris waits at dummy half. Solid run again from Tetivano.
2, move, Zach, back up, game.
Maybe 12 metres from the line. 4 vital tackles coming up here by Wigan. Tedesco almost gets away, gets the ball away to Keary. Here now is Butcher. Butcher gets to within 3 metres of the line, plays the ball to Friend, no knock on. They're flooding forward with Cronk. Ball comes wide, brilliant pickup. What a pickup that was. What defence that was. Ikuvalu must have thought he was on his way for a try in the corner, and Wigan thought better of it.
Well, Joe Greenwood, the man who was pushed out of the field of play just 15 metres from his line, he's the player that makes amends for that. Just have a little look at this. You think that they've got them for numbers, you think they've got him for speed, and then all of a sudden he comes across and hits him, knocks him off the field of play.
What a catch that was, though. What a pickup from Matt Ikebalou.
Wait, George,
he's a big, powerful winger, isn't he?
He's replacing Latrell Mitchell on the roster this year.
Going for an old-fashioned push in the scrum then, the Roosters. Trying to win the ball back.
Go.
Sargentson.
2, move, hold, go.
Williams trying to inject a little bit of urgency into this Wigan attack.
They're well and truly in this game, Wigan. Look at that. Third play now, they're up to near halfway.
4 moves in, get square. Hold me, boy. Hold.
Lindsay Collins in very quickly to make the tackle. And again.
Last. Move.
What a player, isn't he?
Hold.
Determined to make a big impression, isn't he? First time in this country. Big kick downfield. That's obviously been one of Wigan's weaknesses for 50-so minutes. Haven't kicked the ball as well as their opponents. Ikebalou now charges back. Exciting player.
You need to have your discipline when your fullback is your main kicker. He's going for distance, Zach Hardacre, but those chasers can't afford to be in front.
2, Joe, again, move. Hold.
The Frenchman Romain Navarrete has come on for Wigan. This is Tupou.
3, Roman, move. Go.
Friend gets the ball away, good hands. Almost through again, Lindsay Collins.
He keeps offering himself to the ball carrier, doesn't he, Collins?
Keary slips the pass. Last tackle coming up. Cordner goes down. We'll play it here to Friend. He'll bring it back into the middle of the field. You know, he'll kick it forward himself. He's after this himself. Oh, the ball has bounced. The ball has bounced free. The ball has bounced free. It's hacked forward by Joseph Manu, and the referee says 20-metre restart.
Nice variety there, wasn't it? So often the ball goes to a scrum half or stand-off and a rugby team, but if you've got a hook who can run and kick it, cause trouble. Unpredictability of the play on the last tackle helped the Roosters, but Wigan survived, and Tom Davies starts the set, making 10 metres.
Hold, go, 0.
Not only are Wigan sticking with the pace of the Roosters, I think they're starting to dictate it. With 15 minutes almost of this second half.
Well, the big thing is when they bring Sean O'Loughlin back on the field. He's arguably the best player in the centre. Look as though it might be happening right now.
Yes, he comes on for Bullock, who takes a rest. Luluai makes a little half-break, makes more than a half-break, just got an ankle tap on him then.
Oh, he was aware then nearly, wasn't he?
So here come Wigan with Williams, dabs the ball over the top, that's well swept up at the back though. Brilliant work by Keary.
Well, good positioning, wasn't he? Spotted that danger, and he knew exactly what his opposite was going to do, George Williams. He chose to keep that ball on the third play. A couple more tackles up the sleeve, but he spotted some space behind, but so did that man as well, Luke Keary.
Tedesco goes down, tackle number 3. Good set so far, Wigan defensively here. Got to keep an eye on the likes of Joseph Manu.
4, move, go.
He'll play it here to Friend. Friend will come down this short side.
Last.
Referee has called last tackle.
Go.
Mitch Orbison was thinking he could play on. Goes to Cooper Cronk instead. He puts the ball high. This will bounce.
Bouncing ball.
And Hardacre gets to it before Cordner, then releases the pass. And here goes Marshall.
I like the attitude, Eddie, the way that they're trying to open up an attack. Even when that ball bounces, it's not the player that likes of Tom Davis and Hardacre wanted. But again, valuable metres here from the outside backs.
They're over halfway with Gildart. He's taken from behind by Butcher. Wigan get the penalty.
Great play, outside backs. Coming in, making a difference. First of all, it's Liam Marshall, then it's Tom Davis, then Oliver Gildart. And the speed of the rucks and the play of the ball, the Roosters just couldn't handle it then.
He isn't standing up, that's his problem. No, he's not. Go.
They're taking a tap penalty. And they're taking him on down the middle with Romain Navarrete.
Hold, go.
Powell to the left-hand side to Lulawai. The runner is Williams. His runner is Greenwood.
Two, move! Ain't me.
Another penalty for interference, hands in, and they play the ball by Nat Butcher.
Well, they've got the Roosters on the back foot here, haven't they?
Yeah, go.
Well, penalty try, we say. Let's see. Navarrete.
Go on, Nat, get off the ball, mate. Hold.
Powell scoots in at dummy half. Gets the ball away. Willie Isa. He's looking at the line. He was thinking about it, maybe.
Go.
Too many bodies there, though. Here is Lulawai now. Gives it to Williams. Short ball from him. Threat is dealt with by Cooper Cronk. Greenwood was on his way, he thought. Williams. Hamlin. Gabe Hamlin halted. Couple of metres short of the line again. Big pressure from Wigan. O'Loughlin slipped as he got that ball away. Not the best. Gildart picks it up, makes the best of it. Then finds Williams. Williams dancing through them. It opened up a little. And then Morris got to him, but he's still got the ball away. Here is O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin to the corner, looking for the man out wide. Finds the man out wide. Davis just couldn't take that ball on the fall early enough. Tupu got to him. Slack pass again. And again, Navarrete picks the ball up, knocked it on.
Well, good vision from Sean O'Loughlin to react and spot that space. Over on the right-hand side, the mistake from Wigan, though, on the last play. Tom Davis tried everything, just was a step off, and then the ball's offloaded on the last play. You don't want it going to the prop forward.
Hold now. Hold, go.
But they've had their chances in the opening exchanges of this second half. And he knows how close they were then, Adrian Lamb.
Three, move, go.
Radley will play the ball. Away goes Friend, trying to catch Wigan on the back foot. Solid run from Jake Friend again.
Help! Release!
Down he goes. Gets the penalty.
Well, just the second effort from Willie Isa.
You okay?
The former Penrith junior in Australia.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And Jake Friend, a talented player that he is, he knows that he's gained valuable meters, and they'll go for 2 points here.
Now there's a big call. There's an acceptance that they've been under the pump a little bit from Wigan. From Wigan's point of view, they just need to dig in.
Get your back off. In that one, I call held, I call release, and then Isa comes down the back of the legs and takes him to floor and stays in. That's the difference. Marshall is just flapping about. We're going to agree to disagree on that. I've explained that now.
The defender's underneath him and ends up in the mark. You're never going to win against a referee when he's got his mind set and his whistle is blown, but he's putting his case forward, Sean O'Loughlin.
I think this is respect from the Roosters, this going for the 2 points. They know
it makes it 2 converted tries.
Yeah. And they know that they've been under pressure as well. They need the points. That's what I mean, Eddie.
The big fella's back out to take this. CEO Takiaho. Chance on the hour mark to increase the lead to 12, 2 converted tries.
There aren't many goal-kicking props in World Rugby anymore. I watched him practice yesterday.
Yeah, remember him?
He was the last one I can remember.
Terry O'Connor, did you ever kick one?
I did in training and missed them all, right?
Barry?
I did.
Oh, you've done everything in the game, Baz. Everything.
Witness against Halifax 2006.
He even knows when it was.
Date, time, venue.
Yeah. Right. Here's a prop forward with a boot on him. Takiaho. Well, it looks pretty straightforward. He is 33 metres out, maybe. Takes his time, this guy. Way over the 1 minute 20, I think. That's why the clock is held up. Crowd are giving him some. I think he knows how important this might be. And it's straight as a die. The gap is 12 points. Wigan must score twice to take us to golden point extra time.
As I say, Eddie, I think that's a mark of respect from the way that the Warriors have been playing in this second half. Takiao, good kicker, but I've been very impressed with him carrying the ball as well. The way that he started the game, the opening 10 minutes with Warrior Hargreaves.
Can Wigan play the game quicker? That's what they need to do here. They've got their opponents They look fitter and fresher than their opponents in the last 10 minutes. They need to try and play the game even faster now. Really challenge and test the Roosters, see if they can go with them. They were lucky with the kick from Sean O'Loughlin to Tom Davis. That was a great chance for them to get back in the game. But they're still in the contest. They have to play faster.
Yeah, 12 points is not a winning lead.
It's not, Eddie. I'm going to reiterate what I said in the first half. It's those last 10 minutes where Australians, they grow stronger, they look to dig in. And the British team, the English team, the Super League team needs to live with that.
Well, we're in the last quarter of the match. We're going to have got slightly more than 18 minutes to rescue this World Club Challenge. Over 21,000 in the ground tonight. Good effort from Wigan to put this event on.
Game move! Hold, go.
It's been a great occasion. It would be topped off for the Super League and for the British game with a victory, but the Roosters have got other ideas. Now then, Hardaker from broken play, maybe.
Brilliant take from Zach Hardaker. Caught the ball and moved away from the covering defenders, the chasing defenders.
Davis is on the ball for Wigan.
Hold, go.
Well, again, looking to get forward here as Willie Isa comes up with a strong challenge, but he's met by Keary, who drives him backwards.
Hold, go.
That's a standoff on a second row forward. Williams, short ball, Sargentson.
For movement! Go.
Williams again. O'Loughlin. Luluai to Hardaker. He then just drops the ball off to Gildart. Gildart gives a good pass away, and let's play on. Oh, and the referee says there was an Australian hand in there. It's back to 1, 6 to go. Here is Sargentson. Sargentson keeps it alive to Gildart. Flick pass out the back, risky, not needed. Hamlin retains possession for Wigan. Gets the penalty for Wigan as well. He was bundled over as he played that ball.
When it's unstructured play from the Warriors, they look good. The offload, whenever they go wide, and the likes of this man who's got the ball, Gildart or Sargentson, the balance, the speed, the footwork that they possess, and they can get that ball away to other players in better positions.
Here's Romain Navarrete. Wigan, you feel, need to score now to give themselves a chance. O'Loughlin fires the pass. Williams thought about getting the ball away, but Manu was on him. He does in the end get it to Hardaker. Hardaker then finds Luluai. Luluai gives it wide. Again the ball goes to ground, and it was touched again by a Roosters hand. So this is 0 tackle. Davis takes it. 6 from here then for Wigan.
They're fighting hard for every yard, every play of the ball here now, the Warriors.
Well, Radley's hand is trapped by the...
He just touched the line. Nothing else is outside the field of play. That's a try.
Well done, that youngster, to keep his composure there.
Did well, didn't he, Liam Marshall? Might not be in the match, of course, had Dominic Manfredi been fit, but he's taken his chance with 2 hands here, and the try is given. And Wigan aren't out of it yet. Difficult conversion coming up, of course, for Zach Hardaker, but they've got the crowd on their feet again. They've given themselves hope.
They look a different side in the second half, don't they? The forwards are getting the noses through the defensive line. The offloading game is really hurting the Roosters. They can't take them to ground. The vision from that man, George Williams, that was tasked with managing the game and outplaying his opposites. The great Andrew Johns in Australia really rates this George Williams highly. And when he throws that ball, yeah, it's not the best pass, but it goes to the foot of Liam Marshall. He taps it forward, comes up with a try, and the fans go wild.
It's a brave decisions from George Williams to throw that pass. It goes across the face of 3 Roosters defenders, and Liam Marshall does remarkably well. So many moving components there. Control the ball, pick it up, and get it inside the line. Gets Wigan back in this game, but strap yourself in for those last 10 minutes.
Well, if Zach Hardaker has ever kicked a goal off the touchline before, and I'm sure he has, this is an important moment for him. Liam Marshall, 17 tries last year, Wigan's top try scorer, yet he missed out on the grand final. Hardaker has kicked it, and he's just dragged it the wrong side of the posts. Goal kicking is not of the highest quality tonight.
Well, it's advantageous to play many different sports when you're young, because of the skills you pick up. When Liam Marshall's played football as a youngster, that first touch to trap the ball, we saw him doing it in the first half for a high kick, here for booming pass out to the wide. Soft touch, control the ball, picked it up and put it in the corner. Giving the Wigan fans something to sing about here now for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, again, finding their voice. 14 in this Wigan squad have played World Club Challenges before. They've got 22 appearances in all at this level. Sean O'Loughlin, Ian Farrell making a fourth World Club Challenge appearance. There's bags of experience out there. Now then, we said they had to score in that set, they did. Here comes Sargents again. Bumps off the first challenge, gets the ball away to George Williams. Williams skips away from the first effort, then goes down under pressure from Takiaho. Navarrete down the middle. Powell, Wigan sense that they've got this match there for the taking.
The determination from the Roosters. I think Wire Hargreaves was involved in virtually every tackle then.
That's a good kick. Best kick, great kick. They're going to force the extra set, are they? No, he did so well there, Ikuvalu. And he's grounded it in goal, says Robert Hicks, so he has forced the goal line drop at Wigan.
Massive set of six from carrying the ball from the line to that defensive play there.
It's the first time they put a quality kick in on the last play.
I agree, Phil.
Stepping over an hour. Now they're going to get the ball back here. Now, can the referee speed this up here? Because the Roosters walking back, taking time. He stopped the clock.
The shot clock's on. They've got 14 seconds. If they don't get the kick away in the next 10 seconds, Wigan get a penalty in front. They know it, though. The NRL have been operating it for a few years. Goal line dropout is away. Not the longest, though. Ben Flowers back out there. Sam Powell in at dummy half. Wigan upping the ante. Navarrete.
Go. Stay responsive.
That's Powell again. He gives it to Lulawai. Willie Isa now.
They're all setting up on the left-hand side here for a big shift.
Go, 3.
And that's the way they're coming with Lulawai. And then Williams and Greenwood.
Cooper, release!
Joe Greenwood battling to play the ball, which he does now. There is Williams. This is O'Loughlin. Turns the direction of the attack the other way. Stabs the kick in. And the ball was played out and play on, says the referee, because it went backwards.
He thinks they spot some space behind, but maybe as he kicked that ball a bit too early, Sean O'Loughlin, he was caught in two minds whether to go to the right-hand side. Doesn't get the kick away that he wants. It comes off Radley, the youngster. Now they've got... Sorry, Eddie, they've got to deal with this set of 6 now, haven't they?
They have.
They've got them where they want. Don't relieve the pressure.
I know it's a game of ifs, ands, buts and maybes, but if they go on and just narrowly lose this World Club Challenge, they will rue the start that they made to this match.
The start that they made to the match and the end of the sets haven't controlled them enough. Keary and Cronk, and even you look at that kick, you look at the pressure that Zach Hardacre is on. There's 4 Roosters shirts in front of him.
Here goes Davis.
But they're still in it.
They are still in it. As I say, they will rue the start, but let's not think about that. We've got 10.5 minutes still to play, then we'll have the inquest. Here is Gildart.
I think it's a big positive 10 minutes for them, because they do look like they're building in confidence. As they see the clock ticking down, they know they've got to throw caution to the wind.
Williams. Greenwood gets the ball away under pressure to Sargentson, and that was Ikuvalu trying to steal it from him one-on-one. Marshall. Williams comes back this way, stabs the ball over the top of the defenders. Tedesco comes across.
Better, another good end. Adrian Long, sure he's getting that message down. George Williams, take control, make better decisions and put pressure defensively on the Roosters.
That's what they're trying to do here. That's Joseph Manu who will play the ball. Ikuvalu again, big hit by Bullock and Flower.
Good work from the marker defence from Sean O'Loughlin then.
They're bound to be feeling the pinch. I know, Barry, you've talked about the big finish from the Australians. Traditionally, this is their first major hit out of the year. They must be feeling the pinch.
It's coming, Eddie. Look at Hargreaves, the way he carries the ball. work defensively. The rest of the pack of forwards, that's the reason, because of the effort that Wigan put in defensively, that they catch the ball on the front foot as they are now.
Hardaker goes down 10 metres inside his own half. 9 minutes remaining. 8 points the difference. Liam Marshall trying to get away from the defenders. Then there's another tug at him. The penalty is not forthcoming. It's Sargentson.
He looks dangerous, Dan Sargentson, every time he gets the ball.
They go into the centre of the field with O'Loughlin. Bullock.
4. Move, Jared. Keep coming, Boyd. Hold me, Jake. Go, yeah.
Powell. O'Loughlin again. Back it comes to Williams. Williams gets it away to Greenwood.
Last move, Jared. Go.
That's the position that they need to be in. Wasn't it? Look at that, the ricochet. Yeah, Oliver Gildart just loses that ball as he's going to go over the line.
Hold me, hold, go.
So close to what would have been a try that would really have put the cat amongst the pigeons tonight. And he knows it, look. So close, his team.
Well, they all certainly are now putting the effort in, aren't they? The way that they're working hard for each other, on and off the ball, defensively, again taking the Roosters to ground. They're not making as many metres after contact, especially in the first half, although here goes Radley with a decent run.
Yeah, that's a good carry.
And it's those offloads as well, those big arms from Roosters players, forcing the Warriors to work at extra effort.
Go.
Mitch Orbison was tackled then. Here is Jared Warrior-Hargreaves. Last tackle, bang in front of the Wigan sticks, 20 metres out. With Friend and Cronk. And he hoists the kick to the corner. It's a perfect kick. The ball has come free. And Willie Ice is there to just stab it over the line. Had Tupou turned round then, he'd have scored.
Yeah, he saved it there. Tom Davis couldn't get it yet. Looking round, Tupou was panicking as well. He knew that he catches that ball or drops on it to try. Tom Davis, the panic set in then, but his teammate was to the rescue then. Willie Ice just jogging on the spot, and then all of a sudden realises he's got to make a play for that because Boyd Cordner was in the vicinity.
It's only 6 seconds remaining for this goal line dropout. They've gone for broke here, they've gone short. They nearly come up with it. They do come up with it. It came off a Rooster's head.
It was Joe Greenwood, didn't he? Who tapped it back into the player, bounced off a Rooster. And Wigan there with their appetite for possession. Liam Marshall gets some centre field. Really quick play the ball as they possibly can. That won't help.
Another big tackle from Luke Keary. He's done some great stuff with the ball, but my word, when he's come to make a tackle, he plays well above his weight.
Bullock was thinking about the offload. He was surrounded, thought better of it. Did well. Quick hands from Hardaker. This is Gildart being hounded down by Morris. Williams, one-hander gets it away, good hands, not good hands in the end from Sargentson, looking for Marshall.
Yeah, almost trying to fix that defender, isn't he, George
They've got to
Williams?
take a chance.
Yeah, the running game from George Williams and his relationship with Joe Greenwood is building game after game after game, trying to put him through the hole, trying to get Dan Sargentson free then, who again was under some pressure from the Roosters defenders.
Eddie, you're right, they've got to force the issue now. They've got to tick that scoreboard, put some points on. Inevitably, they'll get down the other end of the field. If they force that ball and it goes to hand, they make some breaks.
Hold, shot clock off. Ball. Out. One.
This again is Ikuvalu.
Hold, cause himself, go.
Warrior-Hargreaves again. We can deal with the threat on that occasion.
Good hit from Joe Bullock, man who's caught on the floor.
We can need the ball back. We can need the ball back quickly. 5 minutes to go.
Back here, back here. All go, cheers, Keith.
Cronk. Tukiaho.
Joe. Me, Ben. Hold, go.
Friend again into centre field. It goes to Warrior-Hargreaves. Keary gets it away to Cordner.
It's a last one. The kicker here.
Go.
Last thing Wigan wants is repeat set. That's what the Roosters are after, though, and they've got a repeat set because it's a goal line dropout.
Well, so dangerous, aren't they? From dummy half, shapes to go one way, goes the other. Luke Keary.
We're relying on you there.
He can play either side of the
Time off.
pitch. gets that kick away, correct weight on it, forcing Tom Davies to just knock that field. The player shot, kick off again here.
It's not come off this time. And that's Victor Radley. And look where they are, the Roosters. They're 2 meters away. They've got a bundle of tackles left in this set. Chukiyaho gets them to within 2 meters on the left-hand side of the posts.
Where's Tedesco?
There he is.
Surrender! Stand
Bullock got to him first. They lost a little bit of ground, but they're only 6 meters away. Friend gets it to Cooper. Cronk, who's dealt with legally. Just about.
Go 4.
Here's Radley again.
Move, Joe!
Time is the enemy for Wigan.
Look at that, that's outstanding.
They are a formidable outfit, and this is Tupou's 5th try in as many games, including the last 4 of last year.
Well, you just look how big he is. He's the go-to man, isn't he? He scored a lot of tries last season down in the NRL from kicks. And you've got someone with the experience of Keary and Cronk who can kick to the corners, and you've got someone the size of that man who just hugs the touchline. It's more or less impossible from Tom Davies to really jump up and handle that, because Tupou's running onto the ball, he sees it.
And I hear from good sources it's virtually impossible to out-jump that man, gets so high, gets good hang time. His skill set is such that when he collects the ball, he's aware of the sideline and his ability to get it down.
He's about 6'11" in his stocking feet as well. Well, they are short price favourites to get back-to-back premierships in Australia this year for the first time in the unified competition since Brisbane in 1992-93. And you'll be able to watch with us on Sky Sports whether they achieve that during our NRL coverage this year. They are great champions. And the ground is rapidly emptying because the Wigan supporters know the game is over. Here he comes again. Chukiyaho, can he add the extras this time? No, he can't. Not been a masterclass of kicking off the tee tonight from either side, but a masterclass in other ways. This kick from Keary under pressure, brilliant.
Well, the advantage is always with the attacking winger. You get the accuracy of the kick, the timing of the run, put all that together, put Daniel Tupou underneath it, and more often than not, it's going to end up in an attacking try, which is done to the Roosters here. The short attempted start. We haven't given up.
No, they're trying hard. Filbert approaching the time. I think it's your onerous task. Oh, hang on. Here they come once again with Butcher. Just hold for a moment, Phil. I was going to say it's your onerous task to name the man of the match. You can do that for us. We see what happens here as Manu goes down.
Hold, go.
They're ending the match as they began it on the front foot, the Roosters.
Get square, hold.
Waria Hargreaves will play the ball to Friend. Here is Keary, gets it away to Tedesco. He then gives it to Friend again. Back into centre field it goes to Cronk, and nice little stabbing behind Lulawai. Gildart tidies up for Wigan. Okay, man of the match, Phil.
Well, Eddie, it's not always the try scorer who determines who wins a game of rugby league, but the try scorer tonight for me has been the difference. The main try scorer, Brett Morris, whoever at the Sydney Roosters made the decision to recruit him at the end of last season, bring him to the Sydney Roosters, and we're pretty happy. If he's having his breakfast in Bondi Junction, or he's here with the squad today, he'll be delighted with the fact that he's added to the squad, increases the chances of going back-to-back premiers this year.
And Brett Morris therefore becomes the first man to win the Man of the Match award in the World Club Challenge for a second time. Brett Morris, he won it last in 2011 when he got 2 tries in the win here for the St George Illawarra Dragons. So second man of the match for a second club, Brett Morris. And he caught the eye, didn't he, early doors? Can't argue.
I can think of a bad player in a Roosters shirt this evening. They've been wonderful ambassadors for Rugby League. They've spent some time over in France, and of course the connection with Trent Robinson and French Rugby League. They've talked
and they took that famous trophy around all the Super League grounds in this country too.
And who knows, inspired some young players here tonight, some young spectators that might want to get involved in the game. But it's been a A good performance from the Roosters, but I think it's been a good trip by them. Trent Robinson has talked about the importance of the international game, talked about the importance of this fixture, and how we need it to give it some credibility.
Well, there he is, the man of the match, Brett Morris, and the Roosters will go home victorious. Well, we can now reflect, we can now say, had they started the match a little quicker, Wigan might have had a different result.
Well, they knew that they were going to come out, they knew that they were going to be firing. They started the NRL Grand Final in red-hot form. 2 tries in the opening 14 minutes. Boyd Cordner, what a tremendous player he is. And, you know, you look at the stars that have come over from the other side of the world, and they've all stood up, they've all carried themselves well. They knew that they were up against a Wigan side, and in that second half, the Warriors really worried them. But they're up against this Roosters side, who in the last 6 years have finished top 4 times, haven't they? That's how good they are.
They're a very good side.
They are a complete side, they are a steady side, they are a stable side.
And they are no strangers to this event either, because as Eastern Suburbs, they beat St Helens in 1976. It was an unofficial World Club fixture back then. St Helens were out on tour. They weren't the English champions at the time, Salford were, but they went to Australia. They took on Eastern Suburbs, as they were then known, and Eastern Suburbs won, but it wasn't an official, so they become the second Australian club to win this World Club Challenge on 3 occasions now, after the Melbourne Storm. And when you mention those 2 clubs together, the Roosters and the Storm, that shows what a good side this is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Wigan will reflect, they'll look back on missed opportunities, they'll take some lessons. For them, it's about the grind of Super League, then possibly looking at what the Roosters did. Cronk, Keary, when it got to the back end of sets, how were they handing the ball over? Were they handing it over in their terms?
And those 2 ex-Leeds players, Ryan Hall and Zach Hardacre, now on different sides of the world. Well, he scored a hat-trick in 32 minutes in the first half. He is the Betfred World Club Challenge Man of the Match, Brett Morris with Angela.
There you go, your piece of glassware there as man of the match, the first player to be man of the match twice in a World Club Challenge.
Geez, if I'd known that was going to happen, I would have thought of something to say, but yeah, it's a huge honour. You know, I came here back in 2011. There's just something about this field. I really love playing here. You know, Wigan is such a strong club. They always bring out the best in you. They've got a great team and a loyal fan base who are loud right to the death, and that's the footy you want to play in, and obviously to get the man of the match is a huge bonus.
2 tries last time, a hat-trick this time, very special.
It is, yeah. And like I said, I enjoy playing over here in England. I love the crowds. Always gets me.
A cracking debut as well. You couldn't have asked for a better first game in the Roosters shirt.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, look, I was just given the job to go out there and try and do my best tonight, and I certainly did. Did my best. I did it for the boys. Obviously, coming new to the club, I wanted to impress the guys. It's been a long pre-season for me training, trying to earn their trust, and obviously tonight I think I showed them what I can do.
Just tell us about those 3 tries though. Which is your favourite out of all of them?
Probably the first one. It's just sort of all over the shop there and just pinballing out of there and ended up coming out the other side, so I'll probably have to go with that one.
Well, congratulations, they were all great ones. Congratulations on man of the match.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, Brett. We've got Cooper Cronk now to come in and have a chat with us. Cooper, what a great result, but you had to work for it in that second half.
Yeah, tough hit out for our first game of the year. We trained at a really high intensity, almost above game pace back home in Australia, so I think that set us up. Our high performance manager and our coaches need a good pat on the back for that, but Wigan played really physical, and they shifted the ball, like trying to move our middle defence around, but I thought we reacted, identified their plays really well, and hung in those tough spots really well as well.
So those first 10 minutes kind of told us a game was coming that didn't happen in the end. It was a lot closer than you expected.
Yeah, our fluency of our attack was on from the start, and our ball to the left-hand side, and BMOS did the job. But then, the ascendancy that Wigan got ball possession, so became physical through that middle third of the game, and but we held on and scored enough points.
And the crowd make a noise, don't they, here as well, and a very partisan one too. Great atmosphere for a fantastic game.
Yeah, they do. I've been fortunate enough to come here a couple of times, and they are a very respectful crowd. They cheer and chant, but they let you know when you've made a mistake as well.
They do, and they do roar for the penalties as well, don't they?
Yeah, I thought the referee did a good job. Back home in Australia, we had 2 referees, but yeah, I thought the referee and the officials did a tremendous job tonight.
Thanks for giving us a great game and great entertainment. Thanks, Coop.
Pleasure, thanks again.
Yes, thank you. We've got Sean O'Loughlin now. Sean, you worked so hard there tonight, and that second half wasn't what we expected, given the first 10 minutes.
No, everybody worked hard. It's a tough game. We knew it was going to be tough, but yeah, we cost ourselves a little bit with the start. It was chasing the game from then on, really. Against sides like this who are used to playing in close games a lot of the season, when you give a start like that, you're always going to be backs against the wall.
Self-belief seemed to really flourish in the beginning of that second half.
Yeah, we knew the position we were in was because we'd turned cheap ball over and we'd not defended correctly, so we knew we could put things right, but we knew points were going to be able to come by against these. We knew it was going to be a matter of grinding the game out and trying to scrape it at the end, but didn't quite get there. We let in another try in the second half, and yeah, was chasing it from then.
That's it. The inventive play as well in that second half. You had to throw it about a bit. You had to take the chances.
Yeah, again, tries don't come easy against quality sides, and we had to work hard, and didn't quite get there. But it's been a great experience for everyone. And obviously coming up against sides like this, our boys who haven't played international, it's as close as you're going to get to that. So it's a lot of boys will take a lot from that.
Your kicks from you as well. Proper inventive work.
Yeah, I was a bit desperate. No, I thought our boys worked hard. We worked hard to the end, and I know we've not got the win, but as I say, we'll take a lot from it, and that'll add to the character we'll need this year.
Hard luck, John. Great game, though. Thank you. Cheers. We've got Adrian Lamb. That second half, you must take a lot of pride out of that performance.
Yeah, it was a lot better in the second half, as you mentioned. Just let a couple of soft tries in at the start of the match and had a poor start again, which we've done 3 times this year now. So against teams like that, it's just not good enough.
That's it, that poor start. You got the feeling it was going to be one of those nights. But what did you say to them at half time to sort of turn around their self-belief and their confidence?
Look, I knew that if we had enough or fair share of the ball, obviously we didn't have much quality ball up the other end of the field. I thought we could build some pressure and get some points. And had we, I suppose, got the grubber kick and scored from there, it may have been a different finish. But we're going to get smarter with what we're doing. We've got a little bit to go, but I was proud of their efforts tonight.
Some great individual efforts as well. Dan Sargentson looked great. O'Loughlin did. Who else stood out for you?
I think George Williams, with the minimum opportunities he had, was a threat at all times. Zach Hardacre at times was okay. So again, Joe Bullock off the bench has been good for us. So he's close to a starting spot now. So there's some positives moving forward with the Super League.
Just sum up the night then. I mean, great atmosphere at the DW, great crowd in 21,000, but not the result.
Yeah, not the result, but I think in the sense of winning as a sport, rugby league across the world, there's no better stage, I guess, than tonight. And we've got a massive crowd here. They were very vocal, and it's what rugby league's all about. And that's why we love the game so much.
Thanks for your time, Adrian. We've got Trent Robinson now. He's just having a quick word. Trent.
I'll see you after.
Yeah, you had to battle in that second half there. You knew they were going to throw it at you, though, didn't you, in that second half?
Yeah, that was really tough. You could see there was a lot of pressure being applied to us in that second half, and the boys stood tall. They had to scrap and fight, and they found a way to get out of it. And I thought it was a really good game. I was really happy with the guys. I could see they were fighting hard, and I thought, obviously George Williams won.
So for a first run out as well, fitness was tested, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could see they were seeing some things. They couldn't quite get there on occasions, and some guys that usually go sort of 30 minutes went 25, but that was what we wanted, a really tough game. To win that game is really special, but I can also see there's a lot left in these guys as well. They're sort of 3/4 of the way through their preparation.
For debutant as well, at the age of 31, 32, Brett Morris did all right as well, didn't he? 3 tries, and he really wants to start and show you what he can give you this year.
Yeah, very special. The stuff that he did at the start of that game, it got us the lead, it got us that buffer that allowed us to hold on there at the end, and I think that's his second man of the match win. That's not bad for 2 different clubs. So, at his age, he's fought so hard. He came back in, he was the first one in with all the young guys at the start of November, and it pays rewards in February.
What are the things you're going to take from this into your season in the NRL?
Well, I thought we had to fight hard. I thought I think you could see some of the guys that usually have a bit more of a spring in their step are a little bit short. We've got a month to go, but I think the way that they played, Wigan, and the style that they played, it sort of tested us, and these guys got a really good test. As good a test as you'll get in the NRL as well, already in February.
A great entertaining game as well. Congratulations.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to Trent Robinson. He left the Catalan Dragons in 2012 for Sydney. He has topped the table 4 times in his 6 seasons. They finished second in 2017. They are being tipped to win back-to-back premierships down under this year. Sensational start for them, considering this is the first time that they've gone a full 80 minutes in a full-blooded game. The players still out on the field while the officials build the presentation stand, the dais that we'll go to in a few moments' time. But this Sydney Roosters club, they beat St Helens at Bolton in 2003, then they beat Wigan in 2014. They've beaten them now in 2019, so they have never lost one of these fixtures. Barry and Terry are still here with me. Adrian Lamb, honest as the day is long at the end of this match. He knows they started poorly, but they finished well.
Yeah, they did. They were brilliant in the way that they finished and the way that they were in that second half. But you're quite right, the way that you can see them soft tries and seasoned players really falling off tackles, and that's what he'll be disappointed with. The players will be disappointed, but on a whole, I think that Wigan side will take an awful lot out of this game.
I think you nailed it, Tez, when you talked about players in Wigan shirts, in cherry and white, showing a little bit too much respect to the Roosters players. When they got into the pace of the game, they were tenacious, they were determined, and they troubled the try line of the Roosters. Isn't he a classy bloke, Trent Robinson? Yeah. Spent some time with him before the game, still talks up the Super League, still talks up the players, and he said to Terry and I that his favourite player of all time was Kevin Sinfield. Said he was a beautiful player. The way that he played the game, he said he's the best that he's watched, and only wish that he would have coached him during that career that he's still got going.
Well, I'm sure that Kevin will be bursting with pride hearing that.
Some accolade.
Right now, it is indeed an accolade for Sir Kev. But we have to give the accolades first and foremost to these players from the Sydney Roosters. And that man, Brett Morris, is the Betfred World Club Challenge Man of the match, the first man to win the Man of the Match award in this event for a second time. Wouldn't say it was a masterclass from them, but there are glimpses there as to why they are who they are and why they are being tipped to go back-to-back.
Well, it was a challenge, wasn't it, for them? They knew that they were coming over here, they were flying the other side of the world. Trent Robinson had to prepare his troops. They're going to go back down under and return home, and then all of a sudden it's game on for them. They've got to defend their title, and one of the best defensive teams last year in the NRL, one of the best attacking teams, the threats that they've got with Keary, Cronk, Friend, Tedesco. They're a quality side.
Martin Afire, it'll be a bittersweet moment for him. Of course, he was a Wigan legend. He also played for this Sydney Roosters club. He is out there now presenting the Roosters with their winners' medals. And in the end, he will present the trophy that the Roosters will take home with them tonight. And there's champagne there that will be wasted when it is shaken and
sprayed everywhere.
Sprayed over everybody. I wouldn't like to see Martin in that velvet jacket when all this.
Do you want us to take control and you can run down there, Eddie, and get underneath that champagne?
No, I wouldn't get underneath it. Don't worry about that. I'd grab hold of a bottle or three. That's for sure. There it is. The Betfred World Club Challenge Trophy. Nice piece of silverware goes home to Australia. And Boyd Cordner is the man who has the trophy in his hands. And the Sydney Roosters are Betfred World Club Champions 2019. Oh, the champagne that's going to waste.
They can't open the bottles.
Smile on the face of Trent Robinson, former coach of the year over here, of course, with the Catalan Dragons before he left for the riches and the delights of Sydney. and he's forged a magnificent team. And as I said, throughout the course of the match, you'll be able to follow the Roosters and hopefully Ryan Hall, ex of Leeds, in their ranks during the course of this summer as they defend their crown in 2019.
Yeah, thanks very much, Eddie. Mission accomplished for Trent Robinson and the Sydney Roosters, and they will look to become the first side to win back-to-back NRL titles in 25 years. There can be no doubt. Today, Phil, in what was a very engrossing encounter, they were the better side ultimately.
Yeah, they were, but I mean, eventually over 80 minutes, Wigan did test them a chance. It's a tragedy, wasn't it, that Wigan didn't manage to get the try when Sean O'Loughlin kicked for Tom Davis. Oliver Gildart couldn't ground it when he got to the ball, just to see how they would have pushed him in those last few minutes.
If Adrian Lamb can take anything out of that game, he can look at a side that were 10-0 down against a quality team like the Roosters and drag themselves back into a position where they may have snatched the game, Adrian.
Yeah, they were really gallant in that second half, and I thought they were the better team in the second half, but just a really poor start, some poor missed tackles, but there's a lot of positives, as you say, and they'll be better for the experience.
Well, it'll be an enjoyable flight home, Phil, and Trent Robinson said he's delighted with the test that his players were given. A Wigan side that went to move the ball, and when the game got physical, his side were able to obviously go with that. So in all facets of the game, we see Nick Politis in the background. No doubt the man will be pleased with his side's performance, the supremo of the Sydney Roosters. All in all, solid performance.
Do you know what? They absolutely love the experience of the trip. They'll be delighted that they take the trophy home with them. For those people who don't know, they actually went to visit Australian and New Zealand cemeteries from the First World War. They dropped in there. Every member of the squad had to research a family member or somebody from the village that they were from, and really they've made it a cultural, historical and a rugby trip all rolled into one. They've really taken the life experiences back to Australia from it, and you know, they want good people and great players, which they seem to have at the moment. Luke Keary again was outstanding there, just drinking from the cup to the end.
Adrian, you're an NRL Grand Final winner. You know the difficulty in trying to go back to back. They will have targets on their heads this year. And if they are to go back-to-back for the first time in a quarter of a century, this side collectively will need to lift their performances and improve yet again.
Yeah, without a doubt. But you know, when you've had a bit of success, you want more and more. And the squad Nick Politis assembles year on year is absolutely fantastic. So great playing roster. That added to the fact that they've got fantastic coaches there. There's no reason why they can't do that. It will be very difficult, as you've just said, but they've got a fantastic chance.
Well, 16 minutes to go in this game, and Wigan would have thought they had a great chance when Liam Marshall crossed for a try, made the score 16-8. It was unconverted by Zach Hardacre. We can hear from Liam now. He's with Angela Powers.
Yeah, Liam, you went across for that try, really gave hope, and you never gave up. You really kind of battened down the hatches and went for it.
Yeah, I thought when we scored that try, when we had a chance of coming back in the game, we started the second half a lot better than we started the first half, and we had a chance, and I think just a couple of poor ends to sets, and they got 7 tackles set and they marched down the field, and that changed the game really. But credit to Sydney Roosters, they're a quality side. A great game to watch, an entertaining game to watch, but that must give you a lot of confidence going into the rest of the season now. Yeah, we can take a lot of things from the second half of the game. They was obviously on top in the first half. A few individual defensive errors put us on the back foot, but we went set for set with them in the second half, and the second half finished 4-4, so we can take a lot of things from that and build on for next week and the rest of the season. It was a slow start, and you've had a slow start before in Super League, and that's something you're going to have to learn from. Yeah, it is definitely. If you let Sydney get on top, or a quality side get on top with 2 tries, it's always difficult to come back, and they do that week in, week out. They put teams to the sword, and we give up too many soft tries at the beginning, and it costs us in the end. Thanks for your time. No worries, thank you. We've got Jake Friend as well. Jake, a great team to lead into your first trophy of the season, hopefully one of a few.
Yeah, you know, it's a nice way to sort of put a bow on last year. We knew we had a job to do. We'd come over here, and we've had a good week together, and we knew that Wigan would throw a lot of footy at us, which they did, and you know, I thought we played pretty well.
Just tell us a bit about this Wigan team and what they did throw at you. You know, the level of the competition here is as good as the NRL, according to Trent Robinson, he said. Yeah, mate,
I thought the skill-wise, you know, they threw everything at us, so going side to side, and you know, they made our defence really work. So we'd watch that during the week. You know, we probably had the luxury of seeing their first 2 games, and we knew it was coming, but I thought our defence worked really hard, and you know, they did throw everything, but yeah, we were probably a little bit too good. There's nothing quite like a World Club Challenge to get your campaign off and running, is there? Yeah, definitely. You know, I think for us, a good hit out to the 2019 season, and really proud of the boys and looking forward to getting back to Oz and ripping into the 19 season.
We can't wait either. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers,
Jake Friend victorious in 2014 in the World Club Challenge over the Wigan Warriors 36-14. He has doubled that up with his second title now tonight. Jake Friend and the Roosters are the 2019